In the actual technique of meditation, when you learn to meditate, they make use of that natural tendency of the mind to go towards the field of greatest happiness, whatever that happens to be. So when you're taught meditation, all that is happening is that they're setting up the condition for the mind to stay awake. The intellect stays awake. So you're sitting there in a comfortable chair and you close your eyes. Now, for most people, unless you have a technique of some kind, the tendency is just to go to sleep. TM is designed, it uses a mantra. Mantra is a word that means meaningless sound. So in TM, you're given a mantra. It doesn't have, it's a Sanskrit word. You can't define it in terms of so many words or less. It's not like an English word you might use. Like, say, for instance, the word love. Let's say you decided to meditate with the word love. So you sit and you're meditating with the word love. Then you're thinking, well, sometimes love is painful. Well, I love that person, but then this happened. I really love that person, and I really love my cat. And you get caught up in all the stories that are associated with that word love. The value of using a word that you can't define, the intellect stays lively. So there's just enough in there, in having that tiny, tiny bit of focus, that the intellect remains lively, but not directed. So the intellect remains lively, not directed, which means you're not trying to define it. Intellect is lively, and in that lively, non-directed experience, the mind will dive within. It automatically dives within. And it dives within and transcends, and this relates to the question you were asking me, transcendental experience. It transcends or goes beyond the conscious thinking level because the subtler levels of the thinking process are more relaxing. They're more peaceful. There's more joy available there. There's more pleasure to access. So we go beyond the active thinking level, and we begin to experience quieter and quieter levels of the mind. There's greater pleasure, so the mind is drawn automatically within. That's the natural tendency of the mind that TM makes use of, which is why you don't have to have powers of concentration to start transcendental meditation. As an interesting side effect, your powers of concentration will increase, but they're not necessary. They're not needed. In fact, they're not recommended for when you practice transcendental meditation. So you asked me if I've had a transcendental experience, or I can't remember exactly how you asked that question. But what I would say is this: when the transcending happens, when you go beyond the conscious, active, busy, planning, interpreting, organizing aspect of the mind, when you start to settle down beyond that, that is what it is called transcending. And the experience of that, physically and emotionally and otherwise, is just
compelling.
Yes. Yes, it is.